ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्ते भेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यम् श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यम् तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपारकरुणा सिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणम् श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्। यत्कृपालेशमात्रेण पुमान् पूर्णः प्रजायते तं वन्दे ब्रह्मविद्धुर्यं सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरम्
सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं
गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्।
गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्।
जन्तूनां नरजन्मदुर्लभमतः पुंस्त्वं ततो विप्रता
जन्तूनां नरजन्मदुर्लभमतस्त्वं ततो विप्रता।
तस्माद् वैदिकधर्ममार्गपरथा विद्वत्त्वमस्मात् परम्
तस्मात् वैदिकधर्ममार्गपरता विद्वत्त्वमस्मात् परम्
आत्मानात्मविवेचनं स्वनुभवो ब्रह्मात्मना संस्थितिः
आत्मनात्मविवेचनं स्वनुभवो ब्रह्मात्मना संस्थितिः
मुक्तेर्नो शतजन्मकोटिसुकृतैः पुण्यैर्विना लभ्यते
मुक्तिर्नो शतजन्मकोटिसुकृतैः पुण्यैर्विना लभ्यते
दुर्लभं त्रयमेवैतद्दैवानुग्रहयेत् सुखम्
दुर्लभं त्रयमेवैतद्दैवानुग्रहेतुकम्
मनुष्यत्वं मुमुक्षुत्वं महापुरुषसंश्रयः
मनुष्यत्वं मुमुक्षुत्वं महापुरुषसंश्रयः
लब्ध्वा कथञ्चित् नरजन्म दुर्लभम्
लब्ध्वा कथञ्चित् नरजन्म दुर्लभम्
तत्रापि पुंस्त्वं श्रुतिपारदर्शनम्
तत्रापि स्वं श्रुतिपारदर्शनम्
यस्वात्ममुक्त्यै न यतेतमूढधीः
यस्वात्ममुक्तैर्नयते मूढधीः
स आत्मः स्वं विनिहन्त्यसद्ग्रहात्
स आत्मः स्वं विनिहन्त्यसद्ग्रहात्
इतक्षोन्वस्ति मूढात्मा यस्तु स्वार्थे प्रमाद्यति
इतकोऽन्वस्ति मूढात्मा यस्तु स्वार्थे प्रमाद्यते
दुर्लभं मानुषं देहं प्राप्य तत्रापि पौरुषम्
दुर्लभं मानुषं देहं प्राप्य तत्रापि पौरुषम्
पठन्तु शास्त्राणि यजन्तु देवान्
पठन्तु शास्त्राणि यजन्तु देवान्
कुर्वन्तु कर्माणि भजन्तु देवताः
कुर्वन्तु कर्माणि भजन्तु देवताः
आत्मैक्यबोधेन विना विमुक्तिः
आत्मैकबोधेन विना विमुक्तिः
न सिद्ध्यति ब्रह्मशतान्तरेऽपि
न सिद्ध्यति ब्रह्मशतान्तरेऽपि
अमृतत्वस्य नाशास्ति विद्येत्येव हि श्रुतिः
अमृतत्वस्य नाशास्ति विद्येव हि श्रुतिः
ब्रवीति कर्मणो मुक्तेः अहेतुत्वं स्फुटं यतः
ब्रवीति कर्मणो मुक्तेर्हेतुत्वं स्फुटं यतः
You have seen up to this shloka the meaning of the shloka and Vyakyanam for the shloka, third shloka to seventh shloka as given by Gary Acharya Chandrasekhara Bharati Tika Swamigal. He didn't write elaborate Vyakyanam, just summarize all the shlokas in just one line that we saw. But his Guru Narasimha Bharati Tika Swamigal has written elaborate Vyakyanam on this that we were seeing. And we have seen the Vyakyanam of the third shloka, Durlabham Trayame Vaitat. Durlabhat Trayam. Loke Yetat Durlabhat Trayam. Kim Tat Uktam Asti Asmin Shloke. Often quoted shloka, beautiful shloka. Manushyatvam Mamukshutvam Mahapurusha Samshayaha. Manushyatvam Durlabham. Tataha api Mokshutvam Durlabham. Tataha Mahapurusha Samshayaha. Mahapurushaha iti ukte Rotriyaha Brahmanishtaha. Acharyaha. Acharya Samparkaha Loke Durlabaha. Acharyavan Purushaha Veda. The Shruti Vakyam. The one who has a teacher, he will know. He has no choice. He will know Brahma. For him, Mukti is guaranteed. Acharya Mukhat Upadesham Prapya. That Acharya also Sampradaya with Acharya. Why is Sampradaya? Because it is a time tested tradition and teaching also. Teaching as it is, not modified, cannot be modified, and is transferred in the form of Guru Shishya Parampara. Guruna Shishyena. Guru Gurumukhat. Shishyena Prapta Vidya, Paravidya, Brahma Vidya. In Mundakopanishad, it is said Paravaram. Parat Guroho Avarena Shishyena Prapta Vidya, this Brahma Vidya. This is how in the tradition it is transferred. So therefore, Shrotriyaha means the person must have studied under a guru. Therefore, the Upadesha of such a teacher. The Upadesha of such a teacher, even if the teacher is not a Brahmanishta, the Upadesha of such a teacher cannot go wrong. One must learn from such a teacher. Shrotriyaha Brahmanishtaha Guruhu is Mahapurushaha. Otherwise, if the person is not a Shrotriya, and if he is a Mahapurushaha, possible, then how will he communicate? Because moksha is through jnanam, knowledge. The knowledge is communicated through upadesha, through words. And the words also should not be any mystic words, should not be the words which cannot be understood. It should be, the words also should have have the capacity to communicate what is intended. So therefore, in the tradition, since all these are very well taken care, therefore, Shrotriyaha, that's why Acharyavan Purushaha Veda. Who is an Acharya? The one who was an Shrotriya, he alone can be an Acharya. Therefore, Acharyavan, the one who has Acharya, Acharyavan, one who has Acharya, he will know. So therefore, the Acharya and therefore the Sampradaya, it is important. That's why Mahapurushaha. The Mahapurusha Samshayaha, that is Durlabham Loke, even if the person has Mumukshutvam, Manushyatvam and Mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam is highlighted, that stands for not only Mumukshutvam, stands for the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, Jnana Yogyata. Even if the person has Jnana Yogyata, but unless Jnanam is there, moksha cannot be gained. And for Jnana Praptihi, Acharyaha is required. Therefore, Mahapurusha Samshayaha. First, the basic qualification, the person must be a human being, Manushyatva. And by Karma Yoga and upasanaya, karma yogena, chitta shuddhi, upasanaya, chitta naischalya. By this, the person has gained the eligibility for jnanam. That is called jnana yogyata, eligibility for gaining jnanam. In other words, is sadhana chatushtaya sampannaha. That is going to be dealt with elaborately later. Adhikari ityartha. Mukshutvam stands for adhikaritvam. The person must be an adhikari. Even though sadhana chatushtaya sampannaha, there are fourfold qualifications. The important qualification is mukshutvam, tivra mukshutvam, desire for parama purushartha moksha. The person must be very clear about the priority of life. So therefore, intense desire for moksha, tirmukshutvam, that is turlabham. One should not be negligent, one should not be invigilant. So therefore, mumukshutvam, tirmukshutvam, and mahapurusha samshayaha. These three are durlabham. In whom these three are present, that person will gain the end. There is no doubt about that. That is why durlabham iti. Uttamam ityartha. Durlabham iti ukte durlabham. Durlabham is uttamam. The person must be really a blessed person if he has got all the three. If any one of them is missing, then moksha is ruled out. Manushyattvam is there, mumukshutvam not there. Even if the person has mahapurusha samshayaha, maybe he will get some punya, but moksha is not there because mumukshutvam not there, therefore he will not be interested in receiving the upadesha from the teacher, even if the mahapurusha is very well there with him, near him all the time. But the person will be deprived of the great opportunity given to him. Therefore, all the three must be present. That is, the second shloka is summarized in the form of the third shloka. Just three important qualities. And that's the fourth shloka, which we saw. Somehow having gained Manushya Janma. And that person has Paroksha Jnanam of Brahma, Dipara Darshanam. And if the person doesn't work for moksha, is negligent with regard to moksha purushartha, then that person is mudaha, mudadihi, is a man of deluded intellect. And also, but Acharya uses very strong word. He kills himself. He's a self-destroyer. Self-destroyer means he is spiritually destroyed. Doesn't grow or doesn't utilize this durlabha janma, manushya janma. Therefore, he kills is equivalent to killing oneself because there is no purpose served by this manushya janma for that person. Therefore, it is equivalent to killing oneself. Holding on to anatma, the person destroys himself, spiritually destroyed, loses the opportunity of gaining moksha in this very janma itself. Atmanam aviditva yaha asmat lokat praiti sahat kripanaha. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad it is said, having taken the janma here, if the person leaves this body without knowing Atma, that person is a kripanaha. Kripanaha means miser. Even in Gita also, the word kripanaha, not kripanaha, karpanyaha. It's a form of kripanaha. The word is the karpanya dosho pagata swabhavaha. Pritchamitvam dharma sammura chetaha. Yachayasya nishchitam brogitanhe. Tishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. The second chapter, Arjuna, he asked Bhagavan, karpanya doshena upahata swabhavaha. I am overpowered by this dosha, this defect of karpanya. Kripanasya bhavaha karpanyaha. That person is a miserly person who doesn't use the opportunity given to him. That person is kripanaha. Kripanaha generally we use miserly. Who is miserly? The word miserly we use generally to refer to a person who has wealth but doesn't give in charity. That person is called kripanaha, miserly person. Doesn't spend even money for himself. That person is miser. It's a miser. Is miserly, is a miser. But here it is used in that sense. Having having gained this Manushya Janma and endowed with the buddhi, this intellect, the thinking capacity, if the person still doesn't use that and loses the opportunity, he doesn't use buddhi like money. He doesn't use the money, he just keeps the money with himself, neither uses for himself nor for others. Similarly, the buddhi which is given neither uses for moksha nor for any other purusharthas. That person is a kripanaha, miserly person, doesn't apply buddhi. Kripanaha iti. So that person, Atmaha, Swam Viniganti, he destroys himself. Now let us see the Vyakhyanam to this Shloka by Narasimha Bharati Tirtha Swamigal. Satyamapi Purvokta Narajanmadi Moksha Sadhana Sampattau Yaha Vakshyamana Prakarena Muktyartam Na Yatate Tampati Dosham Aha Labdva Iti. Purva Ukta, already told, already stated what Narajanma, Manushya Janma, Adi Padat, Narajanma, Pumstum, Vaidika Dharma, Marga Bharata, Vidvatum, all those which have been stated in the second shloka. The Narajanma, these are the Moksha Sadhana, Moksha Karanam, Moksha Hetu, Sampattu having gained. This is Sati Saptami. Purvokta Narajanmadi Moksha Sadhana Sampatto Satyamapi. When these are present, the person has all this Moksha Sadhanam. The means which are required for moksha is there in a person. That person, Yaha Purushaha, Vakshyamana Prakarena. Vakshyamana means it is going to be told by that manner. If the person doesn't work for moksha, muktyartam na yatate na prayatate prayatnam na karoti, kurute. Tamprati doshamaha, the defect of that person is talked about in the shloka, labdva iti. Labdva iti, labdva is the first word of the shloka. Labdva iti, asmin shloke, dosham aha, the defect of the person. The merit of the person is talked about. What is the meaning of the word labdva? Labdva. Labdva is prapya, prapadya. Labdva is the kridanta word. Labdva plus prapratyaya, labdva. Equivalent another kridanta is prapadya, prapya ityartaha, having gained, having attained. Katam kim what? Katam kim what? Having attained what? Katanchita narajanma. Somehow. Somehow means it is Ishvara Anugraha. Ishvara Anugrahena Manushya Janma Praptihi. And Ishvara Anugraha also he earns. How? By karma. Muktidno Shata Janma Koti Sukritaihi Punyad Vina Labhyate. So Sukrita, some Punyam is there, therefore Manushya Janma Praptihi. If only Papam is there, Adogati. If only Papam is there, Adho Janma. If only Punyam is there, Deva Sharira. Therefore, mixture of Punyam and Papam, that appropriate mixture is that to take Manushya Janma. Therefore, Katanchita Nara Janma. Somehow, how is Ishvara Anugrahat? That probability is very rare. So therefore, he has gained Narajanma Prapti Labdva. Deva Nugraha Devanugrahaika Sadhyatvat Katanchita iti. Why Katanchita? Acharya says, because it is Devanam Devasya Ishwarasya Anugrahaika Sadhyata, only gained by the grace of Ishvara. It is purely the grace of Ishvara. Ishvara grace is also earned. Therefore, Katanchita Samo he has gained. Samo he has worked for it, and therefore he has gained this Janma, Manusha Janma. Narajanma is Manushyatvam Ityataha. Manushyatvam, the status of being a human being. Tatrapi, even that also, Tatrapi, Narajanmani api, Tatrapi, Tatra, Tasmin, Tasmin, Narajanmani api, even in Manushya Janma, Pumstvam, Purushatvam, the status of being a man or manliness in terms of the characteristics, the qualities. The person must have the power, the capacity to think properly, to look at things and understand objectively, properly. Viveka Vairagya, all this, it stands for Pumstva Gunaha. Therefore, Purushatvam, that is Tatrapi, it is Durlabham. The person somehow has got that also, a man or a woman. Manushya Janma is there. Pumstvam also is the Tatrapi, Pumstvam Asti. Then Shrutehe, Shruti Paradarshanam, another word is there in the Shloka. Shrutehe, Shrutehe is Shashti Bhakti, Shruti Shabda, Shruti Shrutayaha, like Adi Shabda, Srilinga, Shrutehe, Mati Shabdavat, Shrutehe, Shruti is Vedaha. So Vedasya, Shruyate iti Shrutihi. That is Vedaha. Vedasya Paraha. Paraha is Antaha ityartaha. That is why I gave the meaning of Shruti Paradarshanam is Vedanta Darshanam. Because there are so many darshanams are there. Dvadasha Darshanani. Among the Shad Darshanani, Nastika Darshanani, that ruled out, not required. This, that Sheshaha Shad Darshanani is there. Among them, one is Vedanta Darshanam. We have Nyaya Vaisheshika, Yoga Sankhya, and Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. The Uttara Mimamsa, that is called Vedanta Darshanam. Therefore, that is Paraha, Antaha, and that Vedaha, Vedasya Antaha, last part of the Veda, that is Veda Antaha, Vedantaha, which is Upanishad. Therefore, Shrutehe Vedasya Paraha Antaha. Antaha is not inside. Antaha is the end portion of the Veda, the positional name Vedantaha. Tasya Darshanam Jnanam. Darshanam is equal to Jnanam. Darshanam is seeing. Seeing is knowing, understanding. Therefore, Darshanam, that's why Darshanani, Dashdhatu Lyut Pratyaya. That is Darshanam. That's why we have Darshanani, Shad Darshanani, Astika Darshanani. Loosely translated as philosophy. It's maybe philosophy, Darshanam is seeing. Seeing the truth, Darshanani. So Darshanam, Dashdhatu plus Lyut Pratyaya. So therefore it is philosophy. Now we have Darshanani, Uttara Mimamsa Darshanam. Mimamsa Darshanam, Uttara Mimamsa Darshanam. Dhatu is Drishdhatu, Drishir Dhatoho. Karana Adhikarana Yoscha iti Sutrena, Panini Sutrena, Lyut Pratyayam Yojagitva, Yuvaranako iti Sutrena, Anadesha Bhavati, Tena Darshanam iti Sabdasya Vyutpattihi. Drishyate Anena iti Darshanam. That is the meaning of the word Darshanam. Yena Tattvam Drishyate, Tata Darshanam. That by which the truth is known. That is called Darshanam. That is why Darshanam is translated as Jnanam iti. Darshanam. Dhatu, dash dhatu. Lit pratyaya, you get darshanam. Etena Vipratva Vaidika Dharma Marga Paratva Vidvan Vidvatvat Vidvatvan Yuktan Iti Veditavyani. Etena, by that darshanam, Shrutipara darshanam, it is there means what that person is, the person is exposed to this shastram. Means the person must be a viprata. Otherwise, how will he get a chance to expose to the Veda and the Veda Dharma, Veda Shastram? Therefore, the first shloka, what is said, Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata and Vidvatvam, that is understood by this word Shrutipara darshanam. Same first shloka is summarized in the Durlabham, which was mentioned, that is summarized. Pumstum is there, Narajanma is there, Pumstum is there, and Shruti Paradarshan stands for Vaidika Dharma Marga Paratva Vipratvam. Vipratva Vaidika Dharma Paratva Vidwan. Vidvatvan. Yuktaniti is endowed with Vidvatvam. Is endowed with the knowledge of the Shastra, Vedanta Shastra, Veditavyani. Then Durlabham is Uttamam Ityartaha. Great. Rarity. Rare. Durlabham. Atra Uttaratra cha Labdva iti anuvartate. Labdva Labdva, we have to keep adding. Manusya Janmam, Narajanma, Manusya Janma, Narajanma. Not Janmam, Narajanma. Janma is Napumsakalinga. Janma Janmani, Janmani, Janma Janmani, Janmani. Narajanma Labdva. Tatrapi Pumstvam Labdva. Tatrapi Shudipara Darshanam Labdva. Labdva Labdva, you have to supply for every Durlabham. So Labdva, that's why Anuvartate. Labdva iti Anuvartate. Like in Pranini Sutra, we say Anuvartate, a word comes as Anuvritti. Similarly, here also Labdva Anuvartate. For every that hetu, the sadhanam, it is Anuvartate. Evam Sati Api. Karana Samudaye. Yaha tu Purushaha. Atmanaha Swasya. Atmanaha is equal to Swasya. It is there in the Shloka. Yaha tu Atmanaha Atmuktyena yate iteta. Tatrapi Pumsum Shutipara Yaha Swatma Mukyena yateta Mudadihi. That words are explained. Yaha tu. Yaha is Purushaha. Atmanaha Swasya. Muktau Saptami of Mukti Shabda. Shilingava. Muktau, mokshartam, na yatete, yateta is ling lakara, vidiling. Prayatnam na kuryat. Evam satyapi. When this karana samudaye satyapi. Karana samudaya is this sadhana samudaya. What are those sadhana samudaya? Karana samudaya. Narajanma, Pumstvam, Viprata, Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata, Vidvatvam, and all these are the Karana, Sadhanam, Karana Samudaya, a group of Sadhanam, Sadhanani, that is why Samudaya. When these are present, still, Purushaha, if a person, Atmanaha, Swasya, Mokshartam, na Eteta, Prayatnam Kuryat, if a person doesn't work for his one's own moksha, what is he then? Modadhi. Modadhihi. Mudha. Mudha, the word is derived from the mukh dhatu. Mukh. Mukhyati, we say. Deluded. Mukh dhatu. Mudha. Mudha is Vivekaragita. Why Srilinga? Because Dihi is Buddhi. Dihi is Srilinga. Diyo yonaf prachodayat diyaha. Dihi diyo diyaha. Di, the word is Srilinga. But here referring to the person, Purushaha, which is the word is masculine. Pullinga word. Therefore, Mudadhihi is Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam of Mudadhi Shabda, Ikaranta Shabda, Pullinga. It's a compound. Therefore, in a compound, all these are possible. Even Ikaranta, Pullinga Shabda is possible. Mudatihi, Muda, Vivekaragita, Dihi, Yasya Saha, the one who has Buddhi, which is devoid of Viveka. Vivekaragita, that's Muda. It means the person doesn't have Buddhi. He has got Buddhi, doesn't use, doesn't apply. That's why Mudadihi. Why? Because he doesn't work for moksha, even though he has got all the sadhanam by Ishwar Anugraha he has gained. But further Anugraha is missing. If he has more Anugraha, he would have worked for moksha. He doesn't work. He is carried over by the Anatma, he is carried over by Vishayas of the world. He is holding on to his Sharira Upadhi and all the Bhoga Vishayas. Therefore, doesn't work for moksha. Therefore, Atmanaha Mukto na yateta pratram karoti. Yaha na karoti, na kuryat. Saha mudati. He is man of the person of muda. It's person of deluded intellect, whose intellect is deluded. Saha purushaha, that person, Atmaha. Atmanam hanti. Atmaha. Nakaranta Shabda, which we are seeing in some class. Atmahan. Saha Atmaha Bhavati iti Sheshaha, Saha Purushaha, Atmaha is the killer of himself. He commits suicide. Not physically. Not physically commits suicide. He doesn't work for moksha, therefore it is equivalent to committing suicide. Not physically commit suicide. So, Atmanam Hanti. He kills himself. Having got all this opportunity, the Durlabhatvam, it doesn't work. That is equated to self-killing, killing of oneself. He is there in the shloka. He is Yasmat. Yasmat Karanat, therefore only he. Atmaha Vinihanti Yasmat Muktya na yate mudadihi Saha Atmaha Sum Vinihanti Asadgaha. Yasyaha Atma Muktya na yateta mudadihi Saha Atmaha Sum Vinihanti Asadgaha. Here, he is there in the shloka. But in the printing here, it is not there. Saha Atmaha is there. Saha, that's a reading. Saha Hyatmaha. He is there. Saha, he plus Atmaha ends in Sa Hyatmaha. By that reading only, I also have that is proper. But anyway, in this book, it is not there. Saha Atmaha. And in the Vyakyanam, also he Acharya explains what is he. He is Asmat Karanat because of this reason. Swam Atmanam, oneself. Asad Graha. What is Asad? Asad is Anatma. Asancha Aso Grahascha Asad Graha. Karmadariya Samasa. Asan Santo Santaha Sat. Sat Brahma. Atma Pullinga. The first sun. Sancha Aso Atma. Nasan Asan. Asan is Anatma. The word Sat referring to the existence, Brahma, Ishvaraha. We can use the word Atma also. Sat is Napumsakalinga, Sat Brahma, we say. So instead of Brahma, if I use the word Atma, Atma is Pullinga word, then San Brahma, San Atma. Na San Asan. Na Atma, if it is not Atma, then what is Anatma? Na Atma is Anatma. Anatma Grahana, holding on to Anatma. Asancha Aso Grahascha Asad Graha. Asad Graha is what? Jnanam, Avidya Ityartaha. Ignorance. Asad Graha is ignorance. Holding on to Anatma. Why he holds on to anatma? Because he doesn't understand, doesn't know the truth. Therefore, ajnanam, ignorance, avidya, asad grahat, asad graha, asad graha is avidya, ajnanam, ityartha. That is the meaning of asad graha. Tasmat, because of ajnanam, ajnanat, because of ajnanam, he loses the very opportunity given to him. That is equivalent to killing, self-destruction. Grahe, asatvam cha, sarva anartha nidhanatvam. Holding on to this asat, which is the sarva anartha nidhanatvam, which is the giver of all the anartha. Holding on to anatma. Holding on to anatma is missing the truth, missing atma. Forgets to recognize, not forgets, he's not able to recognize, appreciate atma. He thinks himself to be this sharira manasangata, this body mind sense complex only, and those which are connected through this body mind sense complex, he considers only those as himself. By that, sarva anartha nidhanatvam, sarva anartha nidhanatvam is all anartha. All anartha he will holds on to. So, grahe asatvam cha sarva anartha nidhanatvam. Among all the purushartha except moksha purushartha, all the other purusharthas are all other purusharthas. It is not useless. If moksha is a goal, then all the other purusharthas have got some place, some recognition is other all the other purushartha. Dharmartha kama purushartha, one can pursue those purushartha provided if it serves moksha purushartha. Otherwise, holding only to artha kama, it serves no purpose. It is anartha. It is the cause of all the problems. Sarva anartha nidhanattam. Holding on to anatma is the cause for all the problems, all the anartha. Artha means prayojanam. Anartha is nishprayojanam. So sarva anartha nidhanattam, it is the giver of the all useless things. It means it is futile. It will not give what is really the person seeks. What a person seeks through any purushartha is moksha is freedom. A person after artha is not really after artha, is really after moksha. Freedom from the sense of insecurity. That is what a person really wants. But not knowing that, the person works for security, more and more security, because any amount of security doesn't satisfy the person, works for more and more security, more and more money, more and more pleasure, comfort. But actually, what the person wants is freedom from the sense of insecurity. Freedom only he wants. Freedom from the sense of unhappiness. Freedom from the sense of the discomfort. Not knowing that he is after artha and kama, then those purushartha becomes useless. In fact, it becomes anartha. Instead of prayojan being useful, it becomes nishprayojanam, useless. Not only useless, it takes away his whole time, and therefore this Manusha Janma is wasted. Therefore, Sarva Anartha Nidhanatvam, holding on to Anatma, is the giver of all the Anartha, the useless things, the harmful things. So, therefore, Asatvam, holding on to Anatma. Holding on to Anatma is Nishprayojanam, doesn't serve any purpose. Doesn't serve any purpose, therefore, Anartha. Nishprayojanam iti. Atava, or Vashagara, here, Vyakhyana, Kara, gives nice another meaning also. Atava asati dehendriyado gragaha ahanta mamata gragaha tasmaditi artaha. Or this holding on to anatma. Atava asati dehendriyado Graha, Deha, Sharira, Indriya, sense organs. Holding on to this Sharira and Indriya, that is body, mind, sense complex, holding on to that. Graha. Ahanta is the sense of I. Mamata, sense of mind. Aham tesham, mama te. I belong to them, they belong to me. There's ahankara and mamakara. That is anatma. That is holding on to that is asat grahanam. Holding on to the indriya, deha indriya, and this because of that the sense of I-ness and mindness is that is asat. They are not true. Asat. That is asat grahanam. Then Vinihanti, the Kriyapadam which is there in the Shloka. Vinihanti, Anti. Anti is to kill. Visheshana Hanti. Vinihanti, Visheshana Hanti. Agadha, Apara, Samsara, Samudre, Patayati ityartaha. Vinihanti literally means kills. As I said, there is no real physical killing. Yeah. Killing means the person falls into this ocean of this samsara, which is difficult to cross over, and it is also very depth, and it is aghada, apara, samsara, samudre, patayati. He immerses, he falls into this deep ocean of samsara, ocean, and that is also not possible to cross over. Into the samsara, he falls, holding on to anatma, holding on to this shariramana sangata upadi, thinking that to be oneself. That is killing. Vatanamapi kartatva bhoktattvadi adhyaropena swaswarupa abhanam eva, not knowing the swarupa of oneself. That is patanam, that is in the form of adhyaropa, superimposing kartrutvam bhoktrutvam on the atma. Atma is neither the karta nor the bhokta. Atma being what it is. But the person takes oneself to be aham karta. What is this aham? Where does this aham lies? Which part of the body? Or which part, which indriya? So you cannot locate aham in Sharira Mana Sangata aham. That's why it is distinct from Sharira Mana Sangata. Atma is Sharira Mana. This is a Koshatrayat. Jagrat Sapta Sushupti. All that is Avastatraya Sakshi. And it is Atiriktaha, Panchakoshat Atiriktaha, Avastatraya Sakshi. It is a witness of all the three states of existence, and it is different from all the kosha, different from all the three sharira. Therefore, it is not anatma. Atma is distinct from anatma, but on the over the atma, over oneself, the person superimposes a notion, the idea that aham karta, aham bhokta, aham karayita, aham ganta, aham all the action. Aham pashyami, shunna pashyan, shunnan, svishan gachan, all this. I do. All the actions are done by me. I do. Therefore, kartrutva abhimanam. I do, therefore, the result also enjoyed by me. Yatra yatra kartrutvam, tatra tatra bhoktrutvam. When kartrutvam is there, bhoktrutvam will be there. That is adhyaropita. It is superimposed on atma. It means atma is neither karta nor bhokta, but it is superimposed on atma. It is due to ajnanam. It is due to ajnanam, due to wrong knowledge, thinking that atma to be anatma. Therefore, swarupa bhanam. Therefore, the nature of oneself is not bhanam, not known. Bhanam, jnanam. Na bhanam, abhanam. It is not recognized, not known. Nahi atmanaha asatva apadaka vyapara rupahananam sambhavati. Atmanaha, in the shloka, Atmanaha, Atmaha is the killer of Atma. What is his Atma? So here, killer of Atma is Atma, self. But here, that is, this Acharya says, is killer of self means what does he kill? He kills Atma. Atma is not subject to destruction. How can he kill Atma? Saha Atmaha. Saha Atmaha, he is a killer of Saha Atmaha Swabhinihanti. Atmana Bhanti. He is a killer of Atma. He is a killer of self. How can self be killed? Because self is not subject to, Atma is not subject to destruction. Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, Nainam Dakati Pavakaha. Chainam Kledagantyapaha, Nashoshayati Marutaha. Achedyoyam Adagyoyam, Akledyo Shosyevacha, and Atma is Nityaha, Sarvagataha, Tanuhu, Achalaha, Sanataraha. How can a person kills Atma? Katam sa Purusha Partha, Kam Ghatayati, Antikam, Veda Vinashinam Nityam. So what is this Atma? How can a person kill Atma? That is not possible. That here Acharya says that Atma, the word, he na Atmanaha na sambhavati. Atmanaha na sambhavati. What? Hananam na sambhavati. Atmanaha hananam na sambhavati. Atmanaha hananam is killing. Killing is not possible for the Atma. Killing is not possible for the Atma. Asatva apadaka vyapara rupa hananam. Hananam, which is killing, which is a vyapara, which is an activity, action, which is due to the holding on to asatvam anatma. That is not possible for Atma. Atmanaha hananam is not possible. No one can destroy Atma. Tatahi Atma nama na tavat degaha. If Atma cannot be killed by any action, therefore Atma is na tavat degaha. Atma is not the body. Mama shariraha, mama karaha, mama padaha iti apada talamastakam sambandita grahat pratyekam atmatva asambhavat. Atma is not a shariram. If Atma is shariram, then you can kill Atma. But Atma is not shariram. Why you say? Because mama shariraha, you say my body, mama shiraha, mama head, my head, mama karaha, my hand, and my mama padaha, my foot. Iti start from the apada, from the foot to the tala, from the head. Everything is mama iti. Iti sambanditva grahat. Pratyekam atmatva sambhava. Everything is atma. Mama is referring to what? Mama is atmanaha, my atma. So everything cannot be atma. Head cannot be atma. Karaha cannot be atma. Padaha cannot be atma. So many parts are there. All cannot be atma. Pratyekam. Each one individual is cannot be atma. Nagi atma eva atmaiva atmana sambandhi bhuyat. And also atma is one. It is total. It is nityaha. It is sarvagataha. When we say atma is all pervading. If shiraha is atma, karaha is atma, how one atma can have association with other atma? Nagi atmaiva atmana sambandhi bhuyat. There cannot be sambandha of one atma with other atma. If the parts of the shariram, individual parts are atma, then they cannot have sambandha. One atma cannot have sambandha with other atma. Samudayasya tathate karadi nashe sati atmanaha api nasha prasanga. Suppose if samudaya, if individual parts of the shariram is not atma, then you may say the whole thing is atma, because atmaha, he kills the atma, he says. If we take atma to be the shariram, all these problems will come. Parts of the body cannot be atma. That is ruled out. Why we say? The reason is, one, if parts of the body is atma, then one part having association, connection with other part. That is Atma having contact, association with other Atma. That is not possible because Atma is Ekaha, it is Nityaha, it is Sarvagataha. Okay, put together Samudayasya, everything is Atma if you say Karadi. Then Karadi Nashe, suppose if hand is cut, if one part of the Atma is cut, then Atma Nashe, then Atma is destroyed. Kara is Atma. If Karadi Nashe, then what happened to Atma? Atma Nasha Bhavati. Samudayasya tatati. The Samudaya, if the total, that is Shariram is Atma, then Atma is destroyed when Shariram is, when the hand is cut. But leg is Atma, head is Atma, other parts are Atma. They are there. But hand is cut, Atma is destroyed. That will happen, but that cannot be so. When other parts of the body are there, and hand is cut, the person doesn't die. Amputation of the leg is done. The person die? No. The person survives. Therefore, Samudaya also ruled out. Therefore, Napi Indriyani. Indriya also cannot be Atma. Why you say Indriyani also cannot be Atma? So first we said Shariram is not the Atma. That is ruled out. Individual parts cannot be Atma. The total also cannot be Atma. Why we say total cannot be Atma? If suppose hand goes away, hand is cut, then the whole part, when a part of the body is gone, the whole thing is gone. That doesn't happen. That cannot be. Therefore, Shariram cannot be Atma ruled out. Indriyani, that also not Atma. How do you say? Chakshuradina anubhutasya arthasya tadupagate yaha agam gatam adraksham saha agam idanim smrishamiti smriti anupapattehe. Indriyani's sense organs cannot be Atma. Why we say? Because Chakshuradina anubhutasya arthasya. One padartha is there, gata, for example. I saw the pot. Adraksham. Aham gatam adraksham. Adraksham is lung lakara. I saw the pot. Now, Chakshuradina anubhutasya arthasya. To see the pot, I should use my sense organ, eyes. So with the eyes, I recognize the pot. I experience the pot. Anubhutasya arthasya. Tadupagata. If eyes, it's not there now. Then I touch the pot with my hands. Saha aham idanim sprishami. So that pot which I see now, I touch. That pot which I see earlier with the eyes, but now it is not seen because eyes not there. Now I touch by my hand. So if Indriyas, if Indriyas are Atma, if Indriyas are Atma, then Chakshur Indriya is not there. Then Sparsha Indriya, by Sparshanam, I recognize a pot which I saw before. It means the Chakshur Indriya, the Sparsha Indriya recognize a spot which the Chakshur Indriya saw before. It is the Spashindriya recognize the pot which the Chakshurindriya experienced. That is because of the Smriti. That is because of the Smriti. That is because of the remembrance. That is because of the remembrance. Even in the absence of Chakshurindriya, I recognize the pot by Sparshindriya. But that Sparshanena, that Gata Anubhutihi, the experience of the pot, experience of the pot is possible. But how? By Smriti, by remembrance. So that remembrance is possible. Remembrance is possible because I had seen the pot before Now I touch the pot, the smriti is there. So if Chakshurindriya is gone, then smriti is not possible. Remembrance is not possible. But I remember, I touched the pot with my hands. I remember the pot. I touched the pot, the pot which I saw before. Iti, that smriti, the remembrance is there. When Chakshurindriya is gone, along with Chakshurindriya is Atma, when that is gone, along with that, smriti also must have gone. But the smriti is there when I touch the pot. Therefore, Indriyas cannot be Atma. Acharya uses logic. So you have to understand. So not difficult, technical. That is the meaning. It looks simple. Smriti Anapapatte, that is the Hetu. When Chakshurendriya is gone, when Chakshurendriya is Atma, when that is gone, along with the Smriti, the remembrance, the experience also must have gone because Atma is, Chakshurendriya is Atma, gone. But when I touch with this Sparshendriya, I remember this is the part which I saw. It means Chakshurindriya cannot be Atma. The same thing applicable for all the Indriyas. Therefore, Indriyas are not Atma. It is ruled out. What about the mind? Mind also cannot be Atma. How you say? Na manaha. Sarva Sharira Vyapi Sukha Dukkhadi Anubhava Abhava Prasaktehe. Mind also cannot be Atma. The reason is Sarva Sharira Vyapita Sukha Dukkhadi Anubhava. The experience of Sukham and Dukkha, which is Vyapita, which is spread all over the body. Right? If mind is the Atma, then there cannot be the Anubhava of the Sukha and Dukkha, which is spread throughout the body. It means the mind, for the mind to be Atma, the mind must have contact with the Shariram all the time, all the parts of the body. But it is not so. It is not so. The mind is not having contact with the parts of the Shariram all the time. When you operate for example, Chakshurindriya, the mind is backed up by mind. The Chakshurindriya, the eyes operate. That time you don't operate the other Indriyas, Spashindriya, for example. The mind is not that time in contact, not that it is not with the Spashindriya. Therefore, mind also, Sukshma Upadhi, that is not in contact with all the parts of the body at the same time. Therefore, that cannot be Atma. Why we say? Because Atma is all pervading, it is having contact with everything all the time, because everything is Atma. Since mind cannot have this contact with all the parts of the body all the time simultaneously, and therefore the Sukha and Dukkha experienced in it, therefore it cannot be Atma. This is another reason. So that's also ruled out. Shariram is ruled out. Indriyani is also ruled out. Mind is also ruled out. Therefore, the Sharira Mana Sangata, what are these? These are the Karya Karana Sangata. Therefore, Tasmat, therefore, Tasya, Tasmat, therefore, Karya Karana Sangata Vitiriktaha Nityaha Cha Dharma Adharma Pala Bhoga Upapattehe. Therefore, there must be something different from the body and mind and Indriya, sense organs. And that must be Nityaha. It must be always be there, permanent. And that must be Pala Bhoga Upapattehe. That must be enjoying the Bhoga experience of the Pala, the results of action in the form of Dharma. Dharma is Papa Punya. It is not Atma experiences. Atma assumes the Shariram, and therefore to the Shariram experiences, the Jiva experiences the Papa Punya. Therefore, there must be another entity that must be experiencing dharma, papa punya, not atma directly experiencing. Dharma, pala bhahu upati is experience of dharma, papa punyam is only for the upadhyas. The jiva alone experiences. Therefore, the jiva, having given up the shariram, takes up another shariram. If Atma is the shariram, this Atma is gone, Atma is destroyed. What will happen to Papa Punyadam? That is also gone to the Atma. But it is not so. It takes another Janma, and in the other Janma, Papa Punya is experienced. Therefore, the possibility of the experience of Papa Punya is possible only in the presence of the Atma that is distinct from the Sharirama Sangata. That is the meaning. ईदृशस्य आत्मनः सच्चनात्मा पूर्वोक्त असत्व आपादक व्यापार रूप गणनम स्वप्ने अपि असंभावितम. Even in dream it is not possible to kill such a atma. Such atma, that atma which is distinct, different from sharira mana sangata, even in dream killing is not possible. And Shruti also says atacha Shrutihi anta chenmanyate hantum अतश्चेन्मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतः नायं हन्ति न हन्यते कुत्र अस्ति कस्यां कृत्यां कठोपनिषद. The same thing is borrowed by Bhagavan Krishna in the Gita also. न जायते म्रियते वा विपश्चित् नायं कुतश्चिन्न बभूव कश्चित्. Again, it is Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad, the same thing we have in the Gita also. Jayate mriyate va kadachit. There it is vipaschita, in Gita it is kadachit. Nayam bhutva bhavita vanabhuyaha. Slight difference. Yayenam vetti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam. Ubhautana vijanitaha nayam hantina nahanyate. That is Gita version of the mantra. Kathopanishad mantra. Second chapter, 19th Shloka and 20th Shloka. So Shruti says, those who think oneself to be the killer are killed. Both the people do not know, because Atma cannot kill and Atma cannot be an object of killing also. Nobody can kill Atma. It cannot be Karta, it cannot be Bhokta also. And Atma na jayate, it is not born. Na mriyate, not gone, cannot die. Atma is not born, not gone. It is not that Atma which was not there, it has come to existence. That is also not possible. That is why in the beginning itself, Bhagavan Krishna in Gita says, Nattevaham yatunasam nattam neme janadipaha nacheva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. Not that you did not exist. Not that I did not exist before. Not that all these people will perish in future. It means what? Atma is there ever, not subject to coming and going. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha na hanyate sharire anyamane. It is ajaha. Ajaha means goat, not goat. Ajaha is janma vidyamana janma yasya saha. That doesn't have janma, doesn't have birth. It is nityaha, always. It is always is there, it is permanent, not subject to coming and going. It is shashvataha. Nityaha, it is shashvataha. Nityaha, shashvataha looks same meaning. No. Nityaha is that which is nityaha can undergo change. Undergoing change, it is nityaha. But Atma is not like that. It is nityaha, it is shashvataha, doesn't undergo any change. For example, we can be called nityaha relatively. I was born so and so year, 1974 I was born. Till say nityaha, 1976 nityaha, 1980 aham nityaha, 1990 nityaha, 2000 nityaha, 2010 nityaha, 20 nityaha, 25 nityaha, 30 maybe hopefully nityaha. But that person who was born Nityaha, but it's not the same person, has undergone a lot of changes as an infant, then grown adult man. So all the changes are happening, but Nityaha, the person is there, but it is not ever Nityaha. The Drishtanta is not for that, but Nityaha. But Atma is Nityaha when we say without undergoing change. That way Shashvata, the word also is important. Nityaha and Shashvataha. And it is Puranaha. It is ever new. Always it is new because it is Purnaha Puranaha. Na hanyate anyamane sharira. Even if when the shariram is destroyed, Atma is not destroyed. It means shariram is not Atma. That is what Acharya has proved. Body cannot be Atma, mind cannot be Atma, Indriyani cannot be Atma. All this put together alone is shariram. That is not Atma. And also Smritischa Gita. Achedyoyam adagyoyam akledyo shoshiyevacha nityas sarvagatastanuhu. Achaloyam sanataha achedyoyam, that which cannot be cut. Achedyaha, negative. Chedyaha, that which can be cut. Chidudatu yat pratyaya. Kritya pratyaya. Achedyaha, that cannot be cut. Achedyaha. Adagya, that cannot be burned. That cannot be burnt. That cannot be made wet. That cannot be dried up. It means all these actions cannot touch Atma. Atma is Nityaha, it is Sarvagataha, all pervading. It is Tanuhu, it is permanent. Achalaha, not movable. Atma, where it will move. Atma, there is no movement of Atma. There is movement of Sukshma Sharira from one Shariram to another Shariram. That is what is called Janma. Sharira, Sukshma Sharira Viyogaha is called Maranam. Sukshma Sharira Sanyogaha is called Janma. Sukshma Sharira can move from one body to another body. Atma cannot move. Therefore, Achalaha, and it is Sanatanaha, it is ever present. Iti Shruti and Smriti says, Etadrisha Atmahantranam Dushpalam Aha Putihi. Etadrisha Atmahantranam Dushpalam. So therefore, the Antranam, Antra Dhatu, Antru Shabda, Andatoho, Antru. Therefore, Antranam Dushpalam Aha Shudika. Surya Namate Lokaha Andena Tamasavrataha Tahum Te Pretyabhikachanti Eke Chat Tatmahano Janaha Iti. That is from Ishavasya Upanishad. We will see from this part the next class. We'll stop here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಹರ್ಷತ್. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣ್.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣ್ ಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ